doctor.
In January 2008, after weeks of chronic leg pain, Louise, an avid chef, was diagnosed with cancer that had spread to her bone marrow, which meant a poor prognosis.
The moment that I heard that I had cancer, we were in the doctor's room, and I was totally devastated. I was upset. I couldn't believe it. That was another thing. I had a strong sense of disbelief. I also heard a very, very powerful inner voice, which was just to say, you're going to be fine, and you need to really, really believe in yourself. So it was an important day. It was a special day. Cooking and yoga and all the other things that I do, and just being here on earth, is about love. I'm here because of love. Cooking is a very beautiful way of expressing love for self and other people. So it was very natural for me to want to share my love of cooking, because it's essential to us. And why I do yoga is that I was lucky enough to have a teacher who was very old, and she taught me how to be a teacher. So she was a little disabled as well. I was lucky to have her because she taught us to teach all levels, all people. So even being disabled, I'm a very competent yoga teacher, and I love it.
Like so many cancer survivors, Louise has done some serious introspection, which has completely changed her outlook and perspective on life. She chooses to share her journey and experiences with other women.
What this group of women and myself have been on a journey to discover is that all of our imperfections are what make us so perfect and so beautiful. I believe I'm a better teacher for my disability, I really do.
I think if you get the news that Louise got, and you can actually stand up and face it. Some people just sit down and crumble. She's always ready to carry on again, and whether it's in the hospital, whether it's doing yoga, or whether we do something fun together, there's always life. I think that's the thing about Louise.
And strength and courage.
Yes.
That's something that always comes to mind when I think of Louise. It's the strength and the courage that she carries around.
Having always been a passionate cook, Louise is now more aware of where her food comes from, how she prepares it, and the ability that good food has to really nourish our bodies.
So when I prepare food, I really like to sit down. It's something I used to do with my granny and my mum. We used to sit around the table, we used to prepare food, and we used to talk. It was just really relaxing. And so then when I'm preparing, it's the same thing. I want to feel like I'm really connecting with the fruit and putting love into it and thoughts into it as well. One of the reasons why I do this is I just think that we've become a little dissociated from our food perhaps sometimes. Things are very packaged, things are very pre-cut. They save time, but I think it's important to take time with the preparation of that food as well.
Louise has penned a cookbook with recipes that are suitable for the entire family. While many of the dishes are sugar, gluten and egg-free, the one ingredient they all have is a lot of heart.
Part of recovering and part of the healing process, and it's something we must all learn to do for ourselves, is to take care of ourselves. And that means doing the little tiny things that make us feel good about ourselves. And food is such an easy thing to do every day because we have to eat every day.
Louise cherishes her role as a mom and draws incredible strength and hope from her son, who has been by her side as she journeys through cancer.
The lifestyle changes that I made were nothing to do with diet or way of life, because I was a yoga teacher, I was a vegetarian. The changes that I needed to make were personal ones. I needed to forgive, I needed to forget, I needed to move on, I needed to grow up, I needed to learn to love myself. And I think it was more about deciding to be here. That was the lifestyle change that I made. It was a decision.
One of Louise's biggest lessons has been the realization that despite the challenges we may face, we all have a choice as to how we live life.
The advice that I would have for anyone suffering anything is to remember that it's all going to be okay. And that could mean many different things. And death is not a failure. And suffering can lead to growth. And we need to be a little bit more creative in the meaning we make for things. So I would say, make a good meaning for the things that are happening for you in your life.
Continuing to challenge cancer with an unbreakable spirit, Louise is living proof that the strong may survive, but the courageous triumph.
I want to live the best life.